It's all money.
My reaction earlier on was
all money. That's all it was.
Duck them all points tomorrow.
Glazers, Bruce Buck, Roman Abramovich, Florentino as well. Big middle fingers. You deserve every bit of what's coming to you guys. What is going on, guys? It is JJ here, back with a new video today. Once again, today we're going to get a first look at Gary Neville's thoughts on the European Super League. Obviously, their proposal, it's all pretty much done. It's in the dust, it's in the dirt now, thank God, in the mud. Forget the people who started the European Super League, but we're going to hear Gary Neville. I don't know why I never actually took time to research other people's opinions on the Super League. I just knew what I thought about it, and I could see, obviously, the majority of fans, and I feel like pundits agreed with me. However, people are saying to go take a look and watch Gary Neville and his response to the Super League. I think this is probably going to be a really good one, because the fact that some people are saying he should be Prime Minister after it means the man must have been spitting facts. So we're going to take a look at it for the first time. You guys let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments below. Where do you agree with him? Where do you feel like he went wrong? Yeah, let me know what you guys think, and let's get into the video. As always, guys, you can find the original video just down in the description below. Obviously, it's on Sky. So
let's bring in Gary Neville, who, as you...
I'm going to try, I guess this will be one of my first pauses. I'm going to try not to pause it a bunch throughout what Gary Neville is saying. Obviously, there's going to be a very, very weird reaction. I don't want to just make it all about listening to Gary Neville and just my thoughts, but yeah, we'll go probably bit by bit. I'll probably, try to not to... I'll just let the man speak, because this is what you guys are here for, right?
Reacting to this news as it seeped through.
Reacting to Gary Neville's reaction, that's what it is.
Gary, what would you say now you've had a little time to consider what this European breakaway league is all about, and the reaction to it so far?
Well, the reaction to it is that it's been damned, and rightly so.
Excuse me.
I mean, I'm a Manchester United fan and have been for 40 years of my life, but I'm disgusted, absolutely disgusted. I'm disgusted with Manchester United and Liverpool most. I mean, Liverpool, they pretend, you'll never walk alone, the people's club, the fans club. Manchester United, 100 years, born out of workers around here. And they're breaking away into a league without competition that they can't be relegated from. It's an absolute disgrace. And honestly, we have to wrestle back the power in this country from the clubs at the top of this league. And that includes my club. And I've been calling for 12 months as part of another group for an independent regulator to bring checks and balances in place to stop this happening. It's pure greed. They're imposters. They're imposters. There's nothing to do. The owners of this club, the owners of Liverpool, the owners of Chelsea, the owners of Manchester City, they're nothing to do with football in this country. There are 100-odd years of history in this country from fans that have lived and loved these clubs. And they need protecting. The fans need protecting. I benefited from football hugely. I've made money out of football. I invest money into a football club. Now, I'm not against money in football, but the principles and ethos of fair competition and the rights to play the game so that Leicester win the league, they go into the Champions League. Manchester United aren't even in the Champions League. Arsenal aren't even in the Champions League. You watched them earlier on today. We're absolute shambles of a football club at the moment. Tottenham aren't in the Champions League, and they want a God-given right to be in there. They're an
Thank you for preaching this, Gary. I'm mad that I haven't seen this before. The man is absolutely preaching. There's no sporting merit to it. There was no sporting merit whatsoever. It's literally just being entitled, taking your ball and going home. Like, oh, well, we can't compete in the league to make it to the Champions League, or even through Europa to make it to the Champions League, so screw it. We're going to join a league where we will go there based off our name value, based off our brand value, and the things that the people who believed in football did for us earlier in our club's histories. And we'll let that build us, into a league where we can't be relegated and where we will just compete and make billions of dollars. Like, that's so stupid. That's so stupid. Thank you, Gary Neville. Preach, man.
And honestly, the time is now. Independent regulators, stop these clubs having the power base. Enough.
Stop them entirely.
There does seem to be the suggestion that they would need permission from the Premier League to take part, and without it, it would have to be a breakaway, not just from UEFA competition, but from our domestic competition as well, Gary. So with that in mind, let's be clear about this. What is the motivation?
Well, the motivation is greed.
It's all money.
My reaction earlier on was
all money. That's all it was.
Duck them all points tomorrow.
Glazers, Bruce Buck, Roman Abramovich, Florentino as well. Big middle fingers. that you deserve every bit of what's coming to you guys.
Football fans in this country, make no mistake about it. This is the biggest sport in the world. This is the biggest sport in this country, and it's a criminal act against the fans.
It's a criminal act against the sport.
Deduct points, deduct their money, and punish them.
Do you think these clubs would have the courage, knowing how much widespread condemnation there is, to go through with it, Gary?
Dave, the bottle merchants. You never hear from the owners of these clubs. Absolute bottle merchants. They've got no voice. And then they'll probably hide in a few weeks and say it was nothing to do with them. Oh, they were only talking about it.
That's what they're doing right now. They're all on an apology. Listen, guys, we could end this video right now and we could go look at their apology tour. John Henry from Liverpool, the Glazers from Manchester, Joel Glazer specifically from Manchester United, Bruce Buck from Chelsea, Arsenal, Daniel Levy of Tottenham. They're all, Stan Kroenke, Arsenal. They are all on a humongous apology tour right now. They are all saying they did not necessarily believe that there would be this much backlash. They thought that this was the future of the sport. They apologized for not listening to the fans, blah, blah, blah. No! You're just mad that the fans essentially willed you out of it. Man City, I think, are the only ones who actually gave a good, heartfelt apology. Arsenal gave a good, heartfelt apology, but you know they don't care. You know they actually don't care. Man City, I think, just joined it just to join it. They're the club with the least amount of debt out of every single one of the 12. And it's because they run, obviously, you know, they are owing money. But
seriously, in the midst of a pandemic, an economic
they literally they took a chance to, through a pandemic,
league level going bust nearly,
to ruin football.
Players, clubs on the edge in League 1 and 2, and these lot are having Zoom calls about breaking away and basically creating more greed.
Also, big shout out Zoom.
Joke.
Roy, what would you add to that?
Believe it or not, I agree with everything Gary said, which is quite unusual. But yeah, I go back to it. We mentioned at half-time. I think it does come back to greed. Obviously, we've seen new ownerships come in.
Thank you, Rakeem.
By
a king,
clubs,
a true king.
League One clubs over the last, what, 10, 15, 20 years. And it is, I agree, it's just greed. That's the only word I would use to describe it. Nothing but greed. They couldn't care less about the football supporter who works hard and supports their club.
All they cared about was the 16 to 24 age range. The gaming range, the teenagers. Screw off. Screw off. Make football more affordable. Maybe they'll watch.
We're talking about breaking away. Like, you know, Gary was very strong on that. You know, he's been fan of United for 40 years, but I believe Man City are involved in this breakaway as well. And I can't understand, after what they have built in Manchester with the local community, all the money they've spent with the women's, the men's, the kids, the grassroots, for them to want to pull away. I'm flabbergasted. You know, I really get emotional, but for them to want to pull away.
Speak, Michael Richards. Go on. Go on, son.
It's a disgrace, to be honest.
Massive disgrace.
Who's involved in this? It's just, again, it's about lining pockets. And we know it's a business. At the end of the day, people are going to say, well, the businessmen, yeah, they are businesses, but they're taking away the soul from what we...
It doesn't have to be this type of business. They're going to come out of this, okay? There's going to be a boom when you get fans back in stadiums. But now you've pissed the fans off, and why would they want to give you their money? Like, it's just, literally, I honestly do think this was solely to help Real Madrid, Inter, Juve, and Barcelona. Like, I do feel like the Spanish club, Atletico Madrid too. The Real Madrid and Atletico just got a new stadium. Real are in the process of building a new stadium. Barcelona are over $1 billion in debt. Inter Milan are so in debt. I think it was to save these clubs, and I think Tottenham as well, mainly because their $1 billion in debt is also from a new stadium. I think it was purely to greed and save these clubs. Not from themselves, but they wanted to essentially profit sooner rather than long term. And it's just so disgusting.
We believed is the best, you know, sport in the world, and ripping it away.
Ripping it away from the fans.
The heart and soul out of it.
For what? For what? To see Ronaldo and Messi play each other every week? They're going to be retired.
Suggestions that the six clubs involved in this country will put a statement out at 9:30 this evening. Gary's still with us. We had this before last season, didn't we, Gary, with another suggestion of how these big six clubs were going to essentially make more money. Now we have this. Are we just knocking it down the road, this problem, until it is somehow addressed in a proper and right and permanent manner?
Dave, they'll be amending that statement as I speak. They'll be amending that statement as we speak, because they'll have seen the reaction, not just of people within this channel, not just of people on social media, not just of the government. They'll be backtracking down the road because they are bottle merchants.
Yeah, they really are bottle merchants, baby!
Let's make no mistake about it. Same with big picture.
They bottled it hard.
That a week later. So from my point of view, listening to this tonight, honestly, you talk about big clubs. Manchester United have acted like a small club for about 8 to 10 years. They've been a small club in mentality. Arsenal act like a small club. Some of the other clubs in the league that we're actually missing out here, that are actually doing really well, they act like bigger clubs.
Leicester have done a wonder.
It's not just about having the sort of what would be the global family. It's acting proper at the right time. I think I heard Roy during the half-time, and to be fair, I don't know this. Bayern Munich said that they're not part of it.
Not at the moment. PSG, if you're talking about the biggest clubs in Europe that aren't involved, we're talking at the moment about the big 6 in England, plus the biggest 3 in Spain and the big 3 in Italy as well. So no PSG, no Bayern Munich.
Well, Bayern Munich, I think, have always been a club. I have to say that I've always thought that they were a decent club when I was playing against them when I was younger. I'd like to think that Manchester United, Liverpool would stand there in the face of this and say something's not right here. Let's collaborate with the game to try and get a better competition, a better Champions League.
A better Champions League is kind of what they want, I think.
You know, competitions have moved.
I think that's actually what they want.
Years. I'm not for everything standing still, but this is a grab, an absolute grab, at a time when, honestly, the timing is hideous. Where do these people? What world are these people living in?
Their own world.
They can bring this forward.
Their own world. That's what they're living in.
Well, could it have something to do with the fact that they perhaps don't feel any loyalty to this country and these leagues?
Dave, honestly, just capture what you just said. They've got no loyalty to this country and these leagues.
They don't care.
Enough is enough. You just hit the nail on the head there. Enough is enough. There isn't a football fan in this country that won't be seething and shouldn't be seething listening to this conversation and these announcements. Manchester United fans, you know, Roy loves United, I love United, Michael loves Manchester City. You know, this is disowning your own club stuff, this. This is disowning your own club.
And its fans. And its supporters.
How could you even think to come and watch a Super League here where you've left your 14 clubs in the Premier League behind to play against each other? Your Championship club's dead. Your EFL 1 and 2 club's dead. Your National League, your pyramid system that you've fought for 150 years has gone because of 6 clubs. Absolutely embarrassing. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Let them break away, but honestly, punish them straight away.
Punish them.
If they announce a letter of intent has been signed as 6 clubs, they should be punished heavily. Massive fines, points deductions, take the titles off them. Who cares? Give the title to Burnley, Fulham. Let Fulham stay up. Relegate United, Liverpool and Arsenal. Because them 3 clubs, to be fair, are the history of this country. They should be the ones that should suffer most. Yet Chelsea, City, new money in the game, they've sort of come forward. I'm not happy with them either, let's be clear. Tottenham, I'm not really that bothered about.
All that tradition gone to waste. And now just a complete backtrack of all of these statements. Honestly, Gary Neville hit it right on the head. I don't know if the actual footage caught the right end of it. My camera sucks, guys. I apologize. But let me know what you guys think on Gary Neville's verdict on the European Super League. I think the men's reaction to it is wholeheartedly the best one out there possible. Singles out Arsenal, singles out Liverpool, singles out United. Tottenham is just like a toss-up in the wind. Daniel Levy's just an idiot. Chelsea and Manchester City, they I think just went along with it just because. Like, these are 2 clubs that are not in any way really down bad for money. Yeah, Chelsea want to build a new stadium, but the plans have already been scrapped. So they're not really in debt in any way. I think Chelsea are, what, 200 million in debt? Manchester City, less than 200 million in debt. Every single other club in that group is well over 400 million in debt. So, the clubs have to be punished in some way, shape, or form. You can't just let them slide. And I know it's detrimental to even me as a fan. Us, like, fans of the big 6 clubs, I think we just got to bite the nail on the head. Like, it may not be that bad watching the big 6 go back through the championship. I vote some need to be relegated. No, maybe not relegated. It's rough. What do you even do? Do you take points off of them? I think a Champions League ban for some of them has to be taken for sure. And you can't boot owners is the thing. Like, you can get rid of presidents, you can get rid of head of the boards, like Daniel Levy, chairman. Daniel Levy's job is at stake. Stan Kroenke, though, for example, the Glazers, for example, those guys, you can't really force them to sell the clubs. They're billionaires. They'll buy your whole town. So, like, what do you do? What exactly do you do with as backlash for the ESL other than punish their pockets? And that includes punishing us, the fans, because you got, whether you ban them for the Champions League or Europa League or send them all to the Europa League or stuff like that, something has to be done. And I hope the UEFA does do something. I hope something happens bad to Real Madrid. They deserve. Florentino Perez already went out on a PR campaign to say that the ESL could not be stopped and that it was going through and that he would host his own World Cup. He needs to be punished in every way, shape, or form. This man needs to be punished, and Real Madrid with him. Unless they get rid of him, he needs to be punished with them. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below on the Europa League, or not Europa League, the European Super League. Thank God it's in the mud already, but there's still a lot of work to be done. And this like 2-day civil war, world war on football, thank God it's over. Thank God it is over. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and peace.